Ahoy, crypto pirates. Welcome to your Discourse Syndicate. I'm the Captain, RG3, here to chat with you guys one night all alone. Hopefully we've got some good subjects to talk about. It gets hard to stream when we're moving sideways and waiting for things. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced what us streamers experience when things aren't like fucking moonshotting and everybody's happy as hell and all that kind of shit, or we got something crazy going on. It's really cool then. Everybody wants to jump on the stream. Everyone wants to talk. Everyone wants to be part of. People are lined up in the green room coming in. But when things are quiet, things are sideways, we definitely have a bunch of fair-weathered hexicans, I must admit. I got to admit. But we're here every single week, 3 days a week, bringing it to you, trying to bring you some hex content, crypto content, whatever it may be. We got some things to talk about. First, let's talk about this shirt I got. So I got this brand new shirt here. My wife gets these at Sam's Club, I think, or Costco, 6-pack for like a few bucks. I don't know what it is, maybe $10 or something. She gets a 6-pack of them. I like my nice, clean white t-shirts. Definitely not expensive. Also, my bandanas, I order them online. They're probably about $6 or $7. So nothing really fancy going on here. And this pen right here that I've got, you see this right here? I don't have to black it out. Let's see. By the way, I'm not streaming in 4K or 8K or any K. We're just kind of streaming okay. So my camera, I got it on offer up from a guy that had it on what do you have it? It was a floor model in a camera shop. Had the box and everything with it. Never been used. Just sat on the floor as a floor model. So I picked that up for a couple $100. It's about a $800 camera, but I got it for like $400 or something, $500. So we're just streaming in okay. It's a Sony. It's not a anything. It's a Sony something or other. It is a Sony. I just don't know what model it is, to be honest. Lens, kind of a crappy lens, comes with the camera. So, but this pen, I'm kind of proud of this pen. I like this pen. It's from the Disabled Veterans National Foundation. It works nice. I got it for free. So anyway, just wanted to let you guys know what was going on over here at Fully Staked Land with DS. We don't have in fact the whole background here and everything is all green screen. It's all phony. It's all just an illusion. But anyway, I digress. We've got people showing up in the green room, and it's one of my buddies who shows up when there isn't a whole bunch to talk about. But anyway, just wanted to contrast the community with the founder and show you guys what we're really doing over here versus Versace man over there. He sure does have it going on. That jacket is something else. All that stuff being expensive and all is god awful. I mean, that $250K watch, fuck that thing, man. It looks like looks like something fucking Liberace pulled out of his asshole on a freaking Sunday morning or something. And then the jacket and the pants that match that Versace shit. What the fuck is a Versace? I mean, at one time somebody gave me a pair of Versace sunglasses. I thought they were really cool. They're nice. But anything else Versace just looks really just a little too metro for me, I guess. And then the Louis shit. What the fuck? It's luggage, man. It gets all scratched up, dinged up, banged up. Who would want to have luggage that costs a fortune that gets all screwed up by the airport people? So I don't know. I guess people like it. That's cool. I'd rather spend my money on some important shit, some land, maybe some board shorts. I would have like a closet full of board shorts, like for the month. I want my whole month, spread out. And then of course I got to have another closet for my wetsuits. And of course my surfboards. I definitely have surfboards for every, I've always wanted to have like, a place to surf every morning, like get up, drink my coffee and like walk out. Well, I did have that. I lived in Huntington Beach off of Orange and Olive, or 17th and Olive, sorry. 17th and Olive. So I was like, not even like a street. I had to cross the street and I was in the beach. So I'd wake up every morning and go surfing. So I want, a board for every type of wave that's coming in. And it's like, okay, well, today I'm taking this one out. That's the kind of stuff I'd spend my money on. And then, I'd have a couple of nice pairs of flip-flops, some chanclas, some good chanclas, like going out chanclas and like walking across the street to the beach chanclas, or walking out my backyard into the beach chanclas. That's what I'd probably spend my money on. The real good ones with the leather straps on them and shit, like some shit like that. That would be really, really cool. Some nice board shorts for every day of the month, some nice chanclas, clean white t-shirts. I might even buy like some high thread count t-shirts or something, maybe like that. Maybe if they, instead of, $12 for a pack of 6, I'd get like, I'd pay the $12 per t-shirt type of thing. That's what I'd do. Anyway, hey, Kinetics, it's not the time to be sending me questions about what's going on. You had all day long to work, and now you want to work while I'm streaming? Shut up. Quit freaking messaging me. All right. So anyway, that would be how RG3's life would be. Now, if we got in the high cotton and the sweet money, then maybe a pirate ship would be in line to invite you all out to come hang out with me, and that would be cool. But anyway, let me bring my buddy up, and let's talk some Pulse, let's talk some Hex, let's talk some crypto, and see what the old guys can bring to the community. And I have Mr. Chaos. What's happening, Johnny?
Am I on? Did I pop up? There I am.
You look. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So yeah, looks good. Looks nice. You have background going. Are we going to keep you from dropping today?
See my shirt. This is not a Versace. It's very pirate themed though.
It does have some skulls though. I like that. I like skulls. You put a skull on anything, and it's kind of like, hey, it's cool. So anyway, good job, man. You're all ready for streaming, aren't you?
I'm working on it. I'm still working on it. I'm still getting a little glitchy going on here, but that's got to do with the upgrading in the internet. So I did get the new computer, so it's a little quicker. So
cool, man. Cool. So you just don't know about if it might help you with your internet a little bit too. Who knows? But definitely, plugging directly into your router is the best way to go versus Wi-Fi if you have the ability to do so.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the internet for the studio itself instead of tapping from next door.
So that's what it was, huh? Okay.
That's the guilt. Well, the computer system too. So here we go. We're going into the real world now.
See, look at that thing.
Computer now.
Yeah, that's crazy. How come
it's a powerhouse, man.
Nice. Yeah, I got one like that too. My son built it for me. He knows his stuff, man. He did a good job on this one. Put lots of storage space so we can store videos on it too.
So yeah, do you see the trucks? We need one of those outside of every Bitcoin convention there will ever be in the future. Every single one of those, we need one of those trucks.
So let's pull that up. I'm going to pull that up because I wanted to showcase our buddy Marco here because Marco was out in town. For those of you who've seen it. So there was a video of the truck, and then actually our buddy Marco was out in town and saw where the trucks were parked. Should have went and seen who did that, Marco. Let's see here. Hold on a second.
Which it's great that he did that too, because I mean, it's very real now,
Awesome.
right? Nobody can say, okay, this is digital, this is made up. No, he's on the scene streaming live.
All right, so let's play Marco's video. For those of you who don't Twitter or haven't seen Twitter, this is what Marco did out there today.
Yo guys, Marco the Hex again, back at you. Just want to talk to you. Look what I just found. Woo! I found it, baby. I found it. So yeah, not one, but two LED on wheels. They're driving around New York City, promoting Hex, helping us out. How beautiful is that, guys? How beautiful. Mr. Richard Hart right there. Look how you do it. It's beautiful, man. Look at that. Exciting. NYC, close to Times Square. Hex is going everywhere, guys. All day, every day. 555 Club, like we said before. We ain't going nowhere. We just started. Look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful, man. Hexicans, be proud, man. Be proud. Because little by little, they ain't going to stop us. They can't stop us. More and more every day. More and more every day. We got to keep it on, man. Keep up the good fight. Just keep on making it, because we're going to be big. We're going to be bigger and bigger. I just spoke to the gentleman that does this. I spoke to the crew that does this.
Oh.
They told me the rates, how this works, stuff like that. I might take a little jab at this and, run it for like a day or two around maybe Brooklyn, around Times Square again, And if folks want to keep on doing this too, I'll pass on the information. I just found out how to do this. Let's get it, folks. Let's do it.
Nice.
Hex.com, baby, all day. Yo, guys, Marco the Hex.
All right. So that was Marco out there, found out what's going on. So if you want to sponsor that, get a hold of Marco the Hexican on Twitter. And he's probably in the chat rooms too. He's everywhere, but he knows how you can actually sponsor that truck running around in New York City if you'd like to. So my guess is that somebody ordered that. Be cool to see who did that. I'd like to know.
Yeah, we don't know who it originated from, but it was cool that he actually went out on the streets to see him physically in the streets. Instead of just the one. So, we've got multiple confirmations that it's, not CGI, it's really happening. And I think it'd be great if it really happens outside every single Bitcoin convention that ever happens.
So that thing's happening, right? Isn't it? Isn't Miami happening right now? Aren't they having the Miami convention right now?
God, I don't know. I don't even keep track anymore. When I think of Bitcoin conventions, I think about a bunch of geeks standing around a water cooler.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they deserve their moments in the sun there. I mean, they're all getting together, gathering. I mean, this was a big pump this season. I mean, it's still Bitcoin's, not no joke right now. It's sitting at a respectable amount. So you can't take that away from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you would have bought at all-time lows, it's you would have got a 10x. That's pretty cool.
Hey, and
if you would have bought,
what's funny, Johnny?
The time that the influencers were screaming buy Bitcoin, anytime after 30,000, you're you could get in at 65 or so, you're down 50%.
So what's funny, Johnny, is that we're so jaded in crypto and we're so freaking spoiled that we think a 10x is like a meh.
It is.
You go out in the real world and those guys spit out spleens and fucking bleed all night long, all day long to get a 1x. You know what I mean? To get 15%, 30%, 50%, 75%. I mean, that's big. That's big gains, man. That's big gains. But in crypto, it's meh.
Well, let's just throw it out there, RG. You took your $100, you listened to those investors, and you took your $100 and you bought Bitcoin. You got the all-time low. Congratulations, you have $1,000. Ooh, So much for your $1 million Bitcoin. You got $1,000 out of your $100. Okay, now you took that $100 and you put it into Hex at all-time lows, because Bitcoin and Hex were all-time lows at the same exact time, mind you. Okay, so you put that $100 in Hex. That $100 in Hex is now $100,000. Who won?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that we haven't overly won. We have, and I hate to gloat. I do. I really, really hate to gloat, because I mean, and we deserve it. But at this point, it's gotten to the point where I told you so's and gloating and all that stuff is just, I don't know.
Well, we're still getting the hate. We're still getting the hate. It's like, it's not real. What do you mean it's not real? People cash out all the damn time. What do you mean it's not real?
Yeah, somebody sold.
Or Richard made the price go up. So let me get this straight.
Oof.
Richard,
yeah, that one is.
Every time we cash out.
That one is something that we can uncork and talk about too, because that is a really ridiculous statement. The chain analysis is out there. You can see who's trading. You can see who's buying. It's not Richard's wallet that's doing the buying, guy. it's not. Now the OA, they still, the OA has absolutely, and I know that they're confusing that now with trading accounts and people trading Hex on the exchanges, on the DEXs, have absolutely nothing to do with the OA, and they confuse that all the time.
Yeah,
or the AA.
They don't know the difference between those.
We have people talking about the AA, and that's that's ridiculous, because there is no more AA. The AA is over with. That was gone a long time ago. It's ancient history, and only a few of us participated. So, and none of us got hurt from it.
And it ended under sub-cent, so or ended around a penny. So,
yeah. So I mean,
where'd the other 4 cents come from?
Yeah. Richard cranked it up to 4 cents here, guys.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot. Look, I'm onboarding without onboarding all the damn time. People are calling me out of the woodwork now. My wife has opened her mouth too many freaking times, and now people are flowing. How do I get my Dogecoin into Hex? And it's like, oh God, please. The hairdresser, he got Dogecoin and he got wrecked, and he wants to get Hex now. And, so it's just like all of these accidental onboardings now. I never wanted to be an onboarder. I wanted to be a community developer. I wanted to help, herd the cats and bring the community together. That's what I wanted to do, and provide some entertainment and some old saltiness. That's about it. I didn't want to go out and onboard a bunch of people. I did that. My onboarding days are kind of over with. I've talked to people about crypto till I'm blue in the face, and now some of them are mad because I didn't bring them this. They're like, you brought me every other fucking shit coin in the world, brought me every other piece of crap in the world.
Why did you give me the good one?
Everybody walked away with our crypto and went to jail and shit. And you find one finally and don't tell us about it, you son of a bitch, and I've apologized to those folks and got them in and helped them out. And even some of them still to this day aren't they bought a little, but, and even with the gains that they've seen, they're not they're not fully invested in it. They're not staking it. So there's still a lot of people in crypto that are still gun shy from everything that's out there. And I mean, there were so many scams and so many problems and I get it, because I have respect for these people. So, I mean, one of my really, really good friends who got me involved into, getting into crypto for real. I mean, I had crypto, I had some Bitcoin, I had, before, when Bitcoin was the only thing on Coinbase, and then Ethereum came out, I bought a little bit of Ethereum, and and he's the one that told me, no, man, there's even better than just that Ethereum. You got to come over in here to the real world, and let's get you an account, and let me show you the world of the ERC20. And then it was like, oh fuck, it was on, and he's the one who showed me all that. And and he's still got his things that he's doing, and he's got a little Hex, and he's seen what it's done, and he's congratulated me, because I mean, my portfolio has surpassed a lot of the guys that we were trading with before. And now he's still not like 100% on board. He's not staked out what can you say?
There's like a Stockholm syndrome thing going on, right?
Yeah.
So there's got to be some kind of loss. If it sounds too good to be true, it has to be, and if you've been through the gates of hell with crypto, then, you're expecting some kind of loss, some kind of something, right? So,
yeah,
it's difficult, right? So like the Australians did a interview with the Bitcoin maximalist, and he's like, well, but you got to burn power to make coins. No, you don't. It's a function of the contract. The action, you can change the action from mining to staking. It is that easy. It really is. You do not have to have this sacrifice, this sort of loss thing.
That's a big fallacy.
The government's not taking any loss by printing money. Okay, yeah. They're adding a unit of account. They are not taking any loss. They're not even really printing the money physically. It's just a unit of account that they're adding to. Don't tell us that they can't just add digits if you have like a format that a certain amount is going to be released at a certain amount of time. That's all there is to it. And then they'll say, Hex price is manipulated. For God's sakes, people, we're 5 cents. Where's the manipulation? That's gatekeeping is what that is. We should be way beyond
Hey, if it was manipulated, whoever manipulated, would you manipulate a little bit fucking faster and a little bit fucking higher, please? Because I'm fucking tired of the sideways shit, man. We've done this, months and months and months and months and months. Let's fucking Hex hasn't mooned like fucking Dogecoin or some of this other bullshit, crazy fucking pennies, fucking 50, 40, 70 cents. We haven't done none of that crazy shit. Want to see manipulation? Look at all that crap. Look at the crap that, look
trading.
At it's, so fuck, pump it harder, you manipulators. Fuck.
And that's the kicker. So we're manipulated, yet we're not on a major exchange, which puts us in a position where it can't be manipulated the same way it can be on a major exchange, because a major exchange is using an external unit of account that isn't their wallet, which allows them to trade for free. Yep. And they can pump the price and wash trade, and you don't know which account that's coming from. So you don't know how much is real trading and how much is wash trading. But on Hex, it's all on the blockchain. You can see all the transactions that happen, through Uniswap, the addresses it goes to, and everything, because it's real trading. Yeah. It's not fake trading. It's real trading, and people don't know what the hell real trading freaking looks like, so they make all these excuses.
No, they don't. They don't. And it's always been easier to just say Hex is this, is a scam. Hex is not doing what it's supposed to do. Hex is lying. The only way it could be successful, somebody's got to be doing something nefarious.
Somebody's got to be pulling some levers. No, it can't be the fact that everything that they have been led to believe up to this point was bullshit, and something that does the opposite of what they've been led to believe actually works. No, we can't grasp that reality. That's too much of a reality shift.
Yeah, no, it's
because they don't understand volume. They don't understand volume. They don't understand wash trading. They don't understand anything, really. I mean, let's face it. Anybody can buy crypto. You do not have to be an expert in crypto to own crypto. You don't have to know how to code to own crypto.
Nope.
You don't know how to build an engine to drive a car, but, you can participate, right? And just because someone is wealthy means they made a right choice, not that necessarily that they're even educated on the subject. That's the kicker, right? Oh, this guy got rich on Bitcoin. Good for him. He made a right choice. Does that mean he knows anything about Bitcoin? No, it means he owns a thing that went up in value. That's what it means. It's so funny that people defer to these people and they don't even know what it is that they hold. When Richard says spaghetti code, they don't understand. It's like Frankenstein's monster with all these loose ends put together. And there's all kinds of stuff in Bitcoin that was never used. And when you do research and development and you're building something, sometimes you just keep adding to the model and you don't delete the old stuff. And that's why it's called spaghetti code.
Yeah, and the old stuff is the stuff that'll hurt you. The old stuff is the backdoor shit that'll hurt you.
Yes. It's that hidden stuff that sometimes has loose ends that gets a snag.
That's why I've never understood like the grayscale money, the sailor money. It really just proves how dumb they are. They're really dumb. They're really, if you're going to put that much money into things, even Elon, I mean, come on, dude, you're a tech guy and you should be smart to be putting the kind of money that they're putting into it. There's a big risk. It's a huge risk. Not only is there big volatility, but there's big risk in, the technology itself, and there's big risk in the politics of it. I don't understand the aping in that those guys did. I mean, they put a lot of money into, Bitcoin this season. And, I thought it was a real bad risk. I thought they took really bad risks there, but who am I? I don't have billions, but I'm good with my money. And I knew that I wasn't going to put my money into that motherfucker. So I watched somebody make a real crypto, and I was like, wow, look, proof of stake, because like you said earlier, proof of work is bullshit. Proof of work proves nothing. Proof of stake is much better. It makes only sense to do that. The proof of work thing was, well, we tried, it's like the, the crank in the front of the fucking Model T or whatever they had, and it's like, no, we got a better way. There's a starter inside the car. Now you turn the switch and it runs, and so it's just, it doesn't mean anything. The whole, it's gotta have, they get this thing in their head where it's gotta waste power. It's gotta do something, right, or else it can't be worth anything, because that's their paper argument for, no, Bitcoin is worth something. It is worth something because they waste energy, because it uses all that energy and they have to pay for that energy. So it does mean something. It does give it value.
Cell pressure is what that results in. Constant cell pressure over top of your head.
And they don't even realize that that's what it really does, is hurts Bitcoin. It doesn't help Bitcoin. It hurts it. It hurts everybody that's in it and trying to invest in it.
So who's going to go out and start mining Bitcoin today and actually trying to compete with some of these large farms? How are you going to do that? And they're like, oh, where's the money go if you buy Hex? Well, where's the money go when you buy miners? Okay. And then guess where your money goes when you mine coins? It goes to the power company. So what little you produce is overhead. So really, I mean, the system as it is puts the people that are in power, that have the mining equipment and everything, they've already got the equipment. They don't have to rebuy it. So it puts them in a position where they can make some profit, right? Mm-hmm. But is it really profitable?
It's not, bro.
Remember the miners shutting off in 2017? And
my buddy shut his whole operation down. His operation had to be so fucking huge. I mean, monstrous, cavernous. This fucking building and the amount of miners that he had in there to be profitable. And don't get me wrong, he was making a lot of money, but in order to be profitable, and then when it dipped and dived and did its little whoopty down to 3K, 3,500 or whatever it was, fucking he had to turn a switch off and start mining shit coins and stuff. I mean, he had to turn all those off and sit it out for a while until things came back to turn it back on. So, I mean, it's not an easy game, and buying those miners and putting them into place
that the average person cannot participate in. And the people that have spent the money and the people that are in control do not want the average person with $100 to be able to compete in the market and make their own coins.
Yeah. And it was cool. What it comes down to. It was cool when one guy could set up a little mining rig and mine a couple of Bitcoin back in the day in his garage, and everything was cool, but it ain't like that no more. It ain't like that.
No.
You got to spend lots and lots of money, have lots of cooling, have lots and lots of cheap power, lots of power, insane amounts of power. I mean, people don't realize the power when you I actually tried to help set up a mining operation. We were going to do it in New York, upstate New York, or we were going to try and do it in Utah. But it just doesn't come out money-wise. And then when you go to them and tell them how much power you want to bring to the station, to the building, you're fucking crazy. They're like, no way. You can't bring, what are you talking about? Nobody brings that kind of power. And serious, there's a lot of power that comes into these things, and it's insane. It really, really is insane. So it's non-sustainable. So I learned back then that it wasn't sustainable, that was going to go away. So I still didn't really understand why people were still calling Bitcoin, the crypto of the future. I knew it had its marketing ability. I knew it was good for marketing because it was Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's Bitcoin. It's the top dog, but it's unsustainable. Just on that alone.
How about deflationary? How about that deflationary comment? You get these people that are like, it's deflationary. It's deflationary. It's deflationary. It's like, no, it's not. There are new coins coming onto the market. The miners make new coins all the damn time, and they sell them to the tune of $1 million an hour. They sell on the market. What do you mean it's deflationary? It's inflationary for the next 120 years. Where the problem comes in is 120 years from now, when the miners are no longer getting new coins, how are those fees going to be? Because those miners got to do something with that equipment to make some money once it hits its cap. It's inflationary till it reaches its cap. That's it. And it's like, I can't believe they keep calling it deflationary. It's like these people, they don't even know what they hold,
Yeah. So technology, shit, spaghetti code, it's shit. The bugs. I mean, I really never even knew until I started listening to Richard that there were bugs in Bitcoin. I didn't know. I had heard something about the Bitcoin Cash dev doing something and that he had fixed it. So I always thought that story was they created Bitcoin Cash, he fucked up and they fixed it. That's what I thought. I didn't know that he found an inflation bug in Bitcoin and said, hey guys, we got to fix this shit before somebody fucks Bitcoin up. So I didn't know that part of it until I started listening to Richard, and I was like,
well, the code isn't immutable. Okay. So it does go through upgrades. It does go through changes. It's not got things like Hex has compartmentalized features that cannot be changed or moved or anything. Richard's got a name for it, but the point is, part of the code is isolated, and it cannot be changed or manipulated. Bitcoin is open source. It can be, and what happens is sometimes these updates snag one of those loose threads, and it causes issues. Yeah. So it's still there. There are still issues yet to be discovered based on potential updates that may happen that may catch some of those threads, but they'll never talk about that. Because why? They've got a lot of money invested, man. They don't want anybody to know,
Nobody, now that we've got, billionaires aping billions of dollars into this thing, the narrative is going to continue for a long time. And our narrative is going to continue to be, shut the fuck up, you guys. That's what's going to end up happening. Unless we totally flip everything on its head here with this, because Hex is a better crypto. And the best way for like a layman like me to understand the programming of Ethereum is like, I think of it as packetized code. So they take code that has already been proven and good and debugged, and they take packets and they put these packets together. So the packets are, as long as you put the packets and arrange them right, then you can make your code work. So that's kind of how I understand it. I know that's really like a fucking shitty way of saying it, but I just think of it like that. Like, what's the name of the Solidity code itself is like modularized or packetized, and you have to arrange the modules properly, for lack of a better way of explaining it, versus, Bitcoin's just got all this code all laid on top of each other that you could probably never understand all of it because it, like you said, it's got all these loose ends that are just laid on top, and it's hard to figure out, like spaghetti, which is the spaghetti code thing. But
the value,
go ahead.
Value has nothing to do with the product. Value has to do with what people personally feel about something.
Exactly. But the product, if it doesn't work, the product, if it's broken, the product, if it's inefficient, eventually will be found out. It'll eventually be seen when other things compete against it. Like Hex, for instance. So Hex is more secure. Hex is faster. Hex is better than Bitcoin. And, at first it was hard for everybody. Richard never had a problem saying it, but it was hard for us to say it at first. And, but it's better than Bitcoin. And we know that for a fact because we've seen Hex's launch versus Bitcoin's launch. And what we've had is 100% uptime. And what we've had is an immutable code that works every time, all the time. Hex has never failed. Nobody has ever not been able to stake, unstake, emergency end stake. When everybody's hit that button, it's done what they've tried to make it do. Nobody has ever called or come online or come into any of our streams and said, man, I can't, my shit's stuck. I can't get it to emergency unstake, or I can't get it to unstake. I didn't get all my tokens or whatever. My keys are gone now because the code took my keys and now it turned off, my stakes. None of that shit's ever happened. So obviously, history has shown that Hex has done what it says it's going to do, and it's better than Bitcoin. And then the whole mining thing, that's a whole nother layer of better. It just is, the fact that we're on the Ethereum blockchain and that we are actually a hybrid proof of stake, proof of work, proof of stake, kind of, I guess. But now we are going to go to 100% proof of stake with technology, with technology that works. We know ERC20 technology works. We know Ethereum works. And they may have had the problems in the beginning. And even Richard admits this because I was listening to him back in the day when he was saying Ethereum is shit. Ethereum sucks. It's fucking bullshit. Everything's fucking bugged out. I heard him say that. I heard him say it on stream. It's all fucking buggy. Well, it wasn't the fact that it was buggy. And he even corrected himself and said, it's not that it's buggy, it's Solidity is hard. Solidity is hard to put together properly. So people that were out there that were using Solidity in the beginning were just fucking up. They were just making mistakes and they were programming it wrong. They were using it wrong. And so some of their shit was buggy. So it was hard to use. And, and that's what any tech guy, any programmer says about something that they don't know anything about. No, it's fucking shit. It sucks, And really what it was hard and they didn't want to learn it yet. But then when they learned it, when Richard learned it, he realized that it was good. That, hey, you can build something out of this and you could build something simple out of this like Hex. And he did. He built something simple out of it like Hex. And now he's realized that, hey, there's something even easier we can do. We can fork this fucking Ethereum thing and, not only provide relief for Ethereum, but, provide relief for high S load programs on the ERC20 net framework. So, there is a solution and Pulse is going to be the solution. See, and now Hex is better and Pulse is better.
We would have been perfectly content to just go ahead and stay with Ethereum, if it weren't for the ridiculous gas fees. And, this, I still feel like it was an attack. I really do. I understand that other applications were hurting as a result of it. But I feel like it was almost targeted, because it put Hex in a situation where you were paying extortion fees to the Ethereum miners in order to run the functions of the code. And I just, that was just garbage. But it did put us in a situation where it was making it very difficult to use. And Richard decided to do something about it. Now, for everybody that has been saying he was going to rug pull on us for the past year and a half, why is this man still continuing to work towards making better solutions for the crypto space if that's the case? That, it just does not make any sense. He could have took his money a long time ago and walked, the day after the Hex launched. He doesn't need to be spending more time, more money on more developers trying to create solutions. But you know what? He cares about his community. He cares about his community. He cares about his legacy. He cares about his product. And he's not going to let his product die because it's his baby, plain and simple. People in the space, they migrate from project to project. These anon groups, I swear, I wonder how many of these anonymous founders that you see with scam 1, scam 2, scam 3 are all the same dude, just moving on to the next token with a different ticker and a new name,
and endorsed by exchanges too, and exchange founders endorsed by all that shit. And then
and even in the exchanges, you've got them ripping off Uniswap. I mean, it's like the crypto space is like, let's cheat off somebody else's paper. Well, guess what? Richard's writing a new damn book. Better get on it.
I thought it was I think I understand this correctly. I think Richard is giving Uniswap full authority or use of its DEX on the Pulse chain. Like, it's yours, guys. I'm not stealing it from you. Here you go. Is that
so that's what he's trying to do, is he's actually just creating a parallel universe where everybody gets their free shit, and they get a different network to work on. They've already done the work on the Ethereum chain. All they got to do is enable it onto the Pulse chain, and they should have their own access to it. So even like the stable coins and stuff, they would have to switch that on, I would guess, because they've got a min keys and stuff in that, so they could disable it. But basically everything's coming with us over to Pulse.
Not to get too thick in the woods, but that's going to make for some interesting trading and arbitrage activity on Pulse chain. Use smart. I'm not gonna get in the pool and play. Fucking I ain't gonna do it. But I know some of you smarter hexicans are gonna do some. You guys are gonna make some money over there, man. Because with the pooling, the DEX, the liquidity pools, the liquidity providing, all of that stuff, some of you guys are going to fucking kill it. Some of you that know some of those cryptos that are coming over, the ERC20s that are coming over, and you're going to have a load of Pulse, and you're going to be locked into the DEXs with the trading pair of Pulse and your favorite ERC20 or whatever you know about. And some of you are going to fucking make some serious money over there. I mean, the arbitrage opportunities are going to be wild.
Yeah, the liquidity mining and the farming and the pooling and all that stuff, it is very engaging kind of stuff. Unfortunately, the gas fees got so outrageous that it made pretty much all of that useless. I still got $2,000 in small little increments throughout providing liquidity and doing the farming function. And I can't get it out because, because of the way it's split, it would cost me more to remove it than it would.
It's so cheap right now. I was surprised. I was able to turn off some limit orders that I had that were way down there, and I was able to turn those limit orders off.
It's an S-load function though. That's the kicker. It's an S-load function to remove your liquidity, so it's still multiplied.
Yeah. I'm not talking about. Well, yeah, it was, but it didn't cost me. But I think it cost me $7 to turn that liquidity, because in V3 you don't actually set a limit order. You kind of like you supply liquidity on one side is what you do. Mm-hmm. So that's how your limit order works, and then you got to pull it because it'll get refilled again if you don't pull it out once the sell goes in, or the buy or the sell or whatever. But you just provide liquidity on one side. That's how they kind of created a limit order on the V3. So, but I think when I took it out, it was only $7. I mean, there was a time when I tried to take it out, it was $140. It was $200, whatever. I was like, fuck that. I'll just leave that shit there. But it was a pretty decent size amount of ETH I had over there. So I finally was able to pull it out for $1.40 or whatever it was, or $7. I'm sorry, $7. I moved a bunch of, I had a bunch of Hex. I didn't know if the Atomic wallet was going to be, I guess they will duplicate the Atomic wallet over on PulseChain. I'm not sure. But I took all my
Well, it
shit
might
off
have a
Atomic.
toggle.
What's that?
If it switches networks now, I'd probably just have a toggle.
I
Just
don't
like
know
MetaMask
about
does.
Atomic Wallet having a toggle. I've only used it on my phone. I run through Cash App, so all my DCA of Hex I get every paycheck. I buy a little Hex that goes through my Cash App through my Atomic wallet, and then I just swap it over for Hex in my Atomic wallet. And then I finally decided, well, I'm going to move all this over to my MetaMask just to make sure, I didn't know what kind of switch they had to have or whatever. So I just moved it all over, and that only cost me $1.40 today. So I was like, oh, cool. So it's almost like they realize, oh shit, we better start competing again. And like you said, at first it looked like they were attacking us, and now it looks like, oh shit, they're going to come out with something new. We better reduce the fees again. It's just kind of funny. It's kind of weird that it's happening like that right now. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to all that or why it's doing that, but it just does seem awful funny. It seems awful funny.
Well, they got a good portion of money after running up those fees like they did. So there was a big portion of fees. But that's what's going to happen, right? So when you've got an alternative network that isn't a ghost chain, that actually has the full functionality of the original, it's basically like somebody going, hey, here's a new phone. It does everything your old phone did, only this one doesn't cost you any fees. It's free. You don't have any phone bill to pay. Just take the phone. What are you going to do?
So are you saying it's the Obama phone of crypto?
Well, I guess in a way, if you want to look at it that way. But I mean, it's got all the functionality of the Ethereum network, plus faster throughput. So it's improved, right?
Oh,
So
bite your tongue, Brianna.
They're going to have to reduce fees, because why are you going to go on the troll road? Why are you going to pay the trolls over there when you can do the same functionality over here? And everybody's participating whether they like it or not. And you know what I love? I love nobody's talking smack about PulseChain. Why?
No, I mean, how are they going to? They're about to get airdrop free all their shit. You're getting here you go. There's an airdrop, but you're getting free all your shit. All your shit.
Yeah.
Free all your shit.
And they certainly don't want to stick their foot in their mouth again and deal with another year and a half of listening to how wrong they are on the second coin that Richard
fucking degenerate sons of bitches over there, and Hexicans are gonna come after us. They hate it, bro. They fucking hate it, man. Those that have been piranha'd, they freaking hate it. They're like, oh god, here they come.
And
again.
It's gonna be worse. They might as well just surrender right now, because first of all this hate on Richard, when he gives out everybody free shit, he's gonna be a little kind of hard to hate on.
They're still gonna hate him, bro. They're still gonna hate him.
They're gonna try.
Look at Obama.
Going, I kind of like the guy, man. He just gave me a bunch of free shit. What's your problem?
No, they're still gonna hate on him, man. I mean, if I didn't like the guy so much, just seeing him wearing that Versace shit, talking about a fucking $3,000 pen, would have pissed me the fuck off. I mean, I was already pissed off about it. But
that's the whole point of that damn video, was to piss everybody off. It's like I was sitting there watching it. I'm waiting for some kind of cryptic knowledge in here. Coffee was looking at the pen, talking about how the time on the pen. I saw that chat. I'm like, dude,
they had a big
discussion. Literally just trolled the shit out of us. He just did one of those. Here I am. Look at my goodies. This is my shirt. This is my watch. This is my new clock pen. I don't know what the hell that is. You know what? Hold on a second. Hold on. Check this out. Hey, Richard, I'm trolling back. You see this? I had a whole box of pins here, and they cost less than your damn pin.
I got a free one from the VA when I went and they went and pushed my shit in, right?
That's stylish right there, damn it. Look, you've got a stylus at the end here.
And let's see. Can you see it? The veterans. There we go. But yeah, dude.
Too, man.
Oh boy, but yeah, he trolled us hard. What's funny is the room.
Damn bit. That's the only Richard video I did not find one damn bit of useful information in. That's like a record.
His throne room is he's stacking up fucking. He said that he's gonna get a fucking watch winder that's 4 stories taller than the one he's got. You got the Louis Vuitton luggage sitting in the back, the fucking crystals in the corner, the fucking $25,000 a piece.
He's gonna drive a damn Lambo into his office and just park that shit there.
Right
like, hey, you know, I wasn't getting you guys' attention yet, so I figured I'd pick one of these up. What do you think?
Yeah, everyone's triggered by RH's pen. I'm fucking, God damn it. He pulled that pen out. I was like, are you fucking kidding? I blacked out the serial numbers so you guys can't see it in 8K. Like, God damn it, Richard. Fuck. Oh, man. He's fucking funny, man. He is so freaking hilarious. I love having, you know, not the founder that you want, but the founder you deserve, Hexicans. The founder you deserve. Wow. Anyway, you know, there's a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. You know, one of the things was I wanted to kind of talk about. Well, I know there's a lot of discussions going on in the PulseChain room about, you know, arbitrage opportunities and how you're going to position yourself after Pulse launches. And I mean, I just don't have the brain power to freaking worry about that stuff. I might follow a couple of liquidity pools in the beginning because I know, like, when the Matic network launched, there were a lot of good opportunities on the liquidity pools at first, you know, and whatnot. And then, of course, once we all came over there, all the Hexicans came over, they fucking, you know, basically rug pulled on us and made us all fucking suck rocks. But anyway, there's a lot of opportunity there for those of you traders and liquidity providers and what do you call it? Yield farmers outside of Hex. I mean, I'm going to go, you know, I'm all in Hex. I'm going to use PulseChain to stack as many fucking shares as I can. That's my goal, is to just get as many fucking shares as I can, because I've learned that that's how you win in Hex. The way I won in Hex was I stacked as many fucking shares as I could in the early days when they were cheap. And that's how I created my winning wallet with Hex, you know. And it wasn't like everything out 15 years. I have staking ladders. I have stakes out there in different time frames throughout the next 15 years. So, but it was stacking as many of those shares early on was important. And I think that that's my play on Pulse. Is I'm going to do everything. If the shares are, I don't know what the prices of everything are going to come out or whatever. But if I get a chance to fucking suck up some shares, man, holy shit, I'm going ape shit nuts on shares as much as I can get.
Well, that's the question, RG. You can get shares on Pulse now. You know, you get shares on Pulse now by staking your Hex now.
Not with my not with my Pulse though. What I'm saying.
Not with your Pulse, no.
Not with my Pulse, I'm going to maybe receive. I might receive some Pulse by being an early adopter and a political fucking loudmouth. I may get, you know, some Pulse out of this. And I want to do everything I can to turn that into shares. I want to turn it into shares. Now, of course, there's going to be an amount of Pulse that I'd like to hold on to. If I do get a bag of it, if I do get some of it, wow, who knows what Pulse can do? I mean, look at
I
Ethereum.
Don't think. See, what we're going to get at the beginning of Pulse is we're going to get the typical everybody in, buy the rumor, sell the news crap, trying to, you know, all this craziness will happen, you know. And I'm looking at Pulse as whatever I get in Pulse, I'm expecting to hold for 2 years. I'm not touching it. I'm just going to drop it in the wallet and leave it. You know, and because I don't think Pulse will mature for at least 2 years. So instead of getting my idea of watching this chart and watching that chart and jumping here and jumping there and jumping through all the hoops, I'm just setting myself right now. I've seen what Hex has done in a year and a half, and I'm just gonna take what I get and just set it aside and not focus on that chart. I don't want to do all this emotion shit. I spent years trading. I know how it works. I know how much time it sucks from you. And you know, I got my shares. I'm going to get new shares over on the Pulse chain. Those shares are going to work their way out too. I might buy some more P-Hex, but I don't really know that it's going to be any lower. I really don't. You know, people. I hear a lot of people like expecting, oh, well, we're going to get a second chance at Hex. We're going to get it cheaper. Guys, we're about as cheap as I think we're going to get. And I think, if anything, Pulse is going to go up from there. You know, I don't see the Ethereum side dropping down much. I don't see the Pulse Hex starting any lower than where we really are, because people have become to accept that value. Accept that price point, right? So why aren't we going below 5 cents? We're not going below 5 cents because the sellers know, hey, I got something I can sell for 5 cents now. I don't want to sell it for less than 5 cents, right? They start to get used to that. Why would they want to sell it for 3 cents if they know they could get 5? So that psychology happens as price develops, and you see less and less sell pressure because new levels become achievable and they become comfortable with those levels. You know, it's like if you own something, you don't want to sell it for less than it's worth, but you have to see what it's valued at, right? Before you know what you can let it go for. So as we make new levels, those new levels become acceptable. So I really don't think there's going to be like deals on getting a second chance at Hex like some people might think, because I think we've kind of accepted, where we're at now is actually still low. Just my thought on it.
It's going to be interesting to see what it does. It will, because if it is cheap, then it's not going to be cheap for long.
No.
So that's my thought is if it is cheap, if somehow, I mean, I don't understand what's going to happen when the singularity happens, when zero happens, when the first trade happens, when the value starts to pour into the Pulse ecosystem, when the deck starts moving. I don't know what's going to happen. And that's what's freaking intriguing to me, because it's like my trader mind, my fucking, that part of me is like, I want to get into that fucking dog pile, because there's going to be a fucking mad rush if there is some low prices somewhere. If there is,
well, it's the same thing. The buyers have accepted that the price of Hex, anything under 5 cents, is a deal, right? So the buyers have accepted that. So how long do you think it's going to stay under 5 cents?
No, it's gonna move.
Rabid.
But how fast is it gonna move? Because if you get in too, and you're ready to go and stake, and that price starts moving up high, I mean, fuck, you just got yourself into a bunch of Hex, And you can average it out as to how much of your Pulse you're gonna put into it, and of course you're gonna keep a bag of Pulse. You're not gonna dump all of it or whatever, but what position are you going to play? What's your percentages? What are you going to, jump in? That's the kind of stuff I'm thinking about and trying to watch. And it's all speculation at this point. And, it's obvious once people start running to it. Yes, Brianna, when people start running into it, it's going to move up, of course. But what's that price going to be at first? What opportunities are you going to have at first?
The kicker with Pulse side Hex is going to be the fact that it's easier to onboard people to, and your new people can get more Hex, and they're spending less in fees, so they're actually able to pull more Hex off the market because they're paying less fees. All that fee money will now be going towards the size of their stacks. So that's why I seem to think that we're kind of at our starting point for where Pulse Hex is going to be, and I think we'll move up quicker. And there's that whole balancing game too, because there's you've got two parallel universes, right? How much are they going to parody each other? I don't know. We're going to have to see, but I don't think we're looking at lower levels.
Yeah, I think we might see a moment. There might be a moment. Now remember, we're cutting edge. This is a small group of people here. This is a very small group of people. And we're cutting edge, and we're going to know exactly. See, Richard's going to pop this thing and it's going to be out there. And then all of a sudden it's going to happen. Dude, people walk away from crypto for months at a time and don't look at it, or don't get involved, especially during a sideways action or a bear market starts to happen. They're going to not pay attention. And there are some that are, but I think it's a very, very small portion that are actually watching what's going to happen here. Just like there was a very, very small portion that watched Hex launch, and we got to capitalize on it. And we're only 10% of the 9% of the Hex ownership that is staked out and actually getting the value of Hex. I mean, we're making 38 to 40% APY, and people still don't know that we're fucking robbing everything. I mean, it's like, I feel like we're stealing at some point because it's so much fucking Hex being poured into your wallet every day. It's like, oh my God. And when people find out about this, it's going to go away. It's like somebody's going to fucking start squeezing my golden goose over in the corner, and I'm not going to get all the eggs out of this golden goose that I'm getting. It's
like somebody posted something about somebody being mad at them because they made him get Bitcoin, and now they think they scammed them because it dropped down in value. And it's like, wow, that wouldn't that be great if they were able to see their coins grow every single day, whether or not the price was up or down? Wouldn't that be great if they had something like that? Because they were trying to explain it to a kid that it was like a piggy bank. Like, well, your piggy bank doesn't get more coins in it, do it. It's like our piggy bank's getting new coins every day accredited to our account. And it does. It makes you feel guilty because all the other currencies, when they're diving, it's like people are out there like freaking out, man, because like the only thing they can look at is price appreciation. That's it. That price goes down, they're losing money. There is no new coin. There is no new revenue being generated from it.
Me and Brasology had a long talk about something today, and I'll bring it up here and we'll talk. And it was about the, so what are we making? Like 5 point something Hex per T-share right now per day? Is that what it is? What's that?
It's about 6.
It's about 6.
7 to 6.
5, 7 to 6. Okay. So the amount of Hex per T-share that you've been receiving per day hasn't changed since like November, right? It's been pretty close to about the same since then. It's kind of been staying right around the 5 Hex per T-share.
But there's a reason for that too.
So
new coins are.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the new coins aren't coming out.
Because they're all staked out. So I was being, he was trying to tell me that, hey man, once the price goes up, then we're going to end up getting more and more Hex per day. And I was like, I don't think that's how it works, bro. It's about the ROI. It's about it's about the coins that are being minted coming out and changing that versus us, getting it. Cause look, the price of shares have gone from literally, I mean, in November it was probably like what, just in November, like it was maybe $70 or something like that per T-share. And then now it's $1,100 per T-share.
Well, when I was throwing a fit about T-shares, it was 120. And
that was when?
God, I don't know.
It was about November of last year.
Maybe it was, yeah.
Maybe it's a little longer than that. But what I'm saying is that the T-share price has gone out exponentially, and it hasn't changed the amount of Hex coming out. It has to do with staked amount and the amount that's being minted that comes out, the inflation that's coming out.
Yes.
And that hasn't happened.
So there's a compounding supply effect that hasn't really occurred yet because of the good accounting function and because the that the majority of stakes are, the average stake length is 5 point whatever years. Okay, so at that point where you hit that midpoint, where it's that 5 years, that money comes into circulation, your 3.69% is multiplied by the supply, which is now much greater, and that will increase the payout per day per T share. So you get 3.69% on the current amount of Hex in supply, and then as new Hex comes into supply, it's 3.69 times that 3.69 plus the supply. So every year, it's compounding. So that part is actually true compounding, but it's deferred because it doesn't count until you mint
staked.
coin.
Yeah, it's staked until you mint it.
Yeah,
it's deferred. It's deferred inflation.
So there
deferred
will be
inflation.
Point, yeah, there will be a point where we're going to see if the staking percentage stays the same, which I don't think it will, but it also will be harder to get part of that percent as time goes on too.
So the real value of Hex, and us Hexicans know, is the ability to stake it and gain interest off of your Hex. We've all seen what the price is doing. It's following that imaginary line and it's going up into the stratosphere. That's what it's built to do. You can watch hours and hours of whales and Richard talking about what it's designed to do and why it's designed to do that and the mathematics of it. And that's what Hex is designed to do because of how it's built. So it does that. But the interest now, again, Bran was just saying something and Brianna was saying something that, why, the staking percentage is not going to change much, even if, and this is what I see happening. So when Hex's true value is seen by the general public, when people start to see that you can make gains on an appreciating asset that is just appreciating, period, because people are getting into it, that makes you somewhere between, let's just say, even if it gets as staked out as every coin that comes out is staked out, because the OA we know is not going to stake. So that percentage is always going to be stuck off to the side. So people start aping in to Hex, and really what you end up with sooner rather than later, I think, is no Hex. You have no Hex, but the staker class,
you can't buy a T-share if you want one.
the staker class is going to release some. It's like, and a lot of the stakers right now, I mean, the real Hexicans, that 9% that's in there is going, fuck, man, I don't want to give up my T-shares. I bought these motherfuckers at 60 cents or $70 or $100. These things are worth $5, $10, $15,000. And I know there's a bunch of vultures out there wanting them. No, man, I'm young. I'm going to stake these motherfuckers out for another 15 years and take a little bit of
chicken, because the price keeps going up until somebody says, okay, I give. Here's my stakes.
Yeah. And so that it's going to become so rare, so valuable that, I mean, it's going to be literally, people are going to be clamoring for the little bit of Hex that's going to come out. Like,
Hex 19, you would sell some for $1. I know you would. Don't tell me you wouldn't give up any for $1.
I've got specific stakes that are ready for $1. I've got specific amounts that are ready for $1. Now, again, my situation and your situation is different than a 20, 30 something year old person where they go, I can delay some gratification a little while longer. And even myself, I don't need a lot of money. I was talking about chonklas and white T-shirts, maybe some good ones and maybe a trip here and there, there might be a pirate ship in the future. I don't know. It depends on how big everything goes. It might be, I don't know, but literally, I'm not going to, I just want to retire and go off in the sunset. And I don't want to be pulling.
You can retire now, RG. Live off those percentages.
So when it comes down to that, I want to see Hex and Pulse launch together. I want to see another complete crypto bear market. I want to see another bull run come, and then maybe I'll retire at that point. But until then, I'm not giving up my day job. I got to have something to do anyway. So I like doing what I do. It's not a bad deal. So, but I think that Hex is going to get so rare. And here's the thing is it's getting rare on both chains because it's not just Ethereum chain that it's going to get rare on. Because once it does get duplicated, the scarcity that it's in now is going to be duplicated over. So it's going to come over and start its life on PulseChain like scarce as fuck, right? So it's already going to be scarce. It's going to be lean and mean, and it's going to even have more value because more people are going to be able to use it for what it's for, and that's a staking tool. And some people will be short-term staking, some people will be long-term staking, some will have a mixture of both, but it's going to be utilized for what it can be, for what it was originally intended to be, which is a vehicle for people to get in and out of. And because they won't be spending all these freaking crazy amounts for it, it's going to give them, it's going to give them the ability to actually use Hex, and that's going to drive the share price through the fucking.
And that is one of the bumps that we hit with the high gas fees was the fact that it forced you to stake for multiple years because you weren't going. It doesn't do you any good to put a small amount in, and that really hurts adoption. And I'm really disgruntled with Ethereum about that because, it's like the crypto space likes to talk about adoption, but it seems like they do things to shoot themselves in the foot. When you have fees like that, you can't explain that to somebody coming into the space that they got to pay $100 for this and $100 for that. It's like if you tried to sign them up for a bank and you said, okay, well, to open an account at this bank, it's going to cost you $90. And then if you want to make a withdrawal, it's going to cost you $90. And then if you want to send it to somebody else, it's going to cost you $90. You can't do that. That is so detrimental to, adoption. I mean, it sounds like, what did I sign up for? Getting robbed by the mafia or what? What exactly are you trying to get people into? So that really hurts adoption. But see, I don't know that they want more adoption. It's almost like they just want more control. But the problem with that is if you don't grow and you don't gain adoption, then, you just crank the prices up to where people don't want to play with you no more. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said it that crypto is a full of shit game and it's bullshit. And they just want control now. They want to try and control it. They want to have their piece of it, and they don't want anybody else to have it. So it's really gone so far away from the IRC chat rooms that we're talking about crypto and the libertarian stance on crypto and the fuck the banks and the free yourself from the money.
Now, please, institutions, buy my bags, please.
Buy my
bag. Come in. There was like a picture of the Hobbit with the ring. It says, "This is for the people," and then it shows Gollum. Please, institutions, please, save us.
Yeah, that's what they want. They've been hoping for so they fucked the space up so much that the regular person, they've made it so difficult with their galaxy brains, fucking making everything so hard and so difficult, thinking that they were doing something there's always that nerd in the room that tries to impress you with how fucking smart he is, and he keeps talking all this fucking bullshit nonsense to make himself look smart, and he's really not doing a goddamn thing. It's like, look, give it to me straight, motherfucker. Don't you trying to talk over my head to try and make me look stupid, bitch. How about I show you how stupid you are and I bitch slap your ass, and then you can talk like a fucking regular person, right? Well, that's what they've all done. They've talked shit. They've made everything so goddamn difficult, and made, see how smart we are. See how smart crypto guys we are.
See how many.
See what we've done.
In the damn top 30 developers from Ethereum, you get more views than they do.
Yeah, and they've done all this galaxy brain shit and pushed people away from crypto. It's like, fuck, I don't want to do that. I don't want to learn how to do all that shit. I can't do that. I'm not as smart as these guys. And then they let the scammers come in, and they made it even worse. So they made it a bad neighborhood with a bunch of smart guys hanging out in the alley over talking to you. And it's like, fuck crypto. Nobody wants to come into this shit. You know, it's fucking ridiculous. And the only thing everybody sees is that the fucking geeks and the scammers are getting rich, so they want to get into.
And the snobs telling you to have fun staying poor if you don't buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, that shit too. Have fun staying poor.
Bitcoin's like that overpriced thing. You know, it's just so over. It's like, you know, I own a Bitcoin. Oh, look at me. I own a Bitcoin. Ew. Yeah, good for you.
It would be nice to have the kind of money and a lawyer behind you while you're walking through a Bitcoin convention and just walk up to some of them and just walk straight up to them and just fucking slap them right in the face and drop a check and drop some paperwork and then go to the next one and just fucking you too. Drop some money, drop some paperwork. Yeah, fucking lawyer sitting there.
To lose now, RG. We've got to hire people for that shit now.
It's like
just know that it happened. Just know that it happened and it makes you feel good. But you can't actually do it yourself now. You got a little bit more to lose, and you know,
a real good lawyer. Like two fucking two-wheeler guys with fucking, you know, denim jackets and some 3-piece patches on their back, a lawyer, and just dropping cash and going, you got a problem with that? It's here, sign this.
You know, the most people that protest us the most are the people that are pissed off that they bought $100 worth of Bitcoin at 65K and they're down 50%. Those people are the ones that are mad at us right now.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's a lot. It's just fun to think about stuff like that. But so what we were back to what Brasology and I were talking about, the shares going up, and so we see a lot of stakes coming out around year 5 to 10, right? A lot of stakes start coming out then because that's the average. The average stake length is what, 5 point something
like
now?
5.5 or something like that.
So once that starts happening, then so at that point, our daily payouts are going to start ratcheting up, and that's really like, my goodness, man, that is just to think about that. What 5 years is going to look like for a lot of hexagons that are staked out, because I know that, you know, like for instance, the people that didn't catch like early big payday or even missed big payday, but they got in and they staked as much. They were smart and they got a lot of shares and they staked out as far as they can. You know, a lot of new hexagons. That's going to be the fucking sweet spot right there, because in like 5 to 7 years, those people are going to really start reaping the rewards of their T-shares that they've got.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of crying too, because people are going to go to buy their shares back at 5 years, and it ain't going to be like it is right now, where you can stake it out farther and get more shares.
Yeah,
and in Hex, stop thinking about getting more shares. It's gonna. Yeah, it tightens up.
Yeah, 4 years, December 2023 is the next big end stakes. Yes. So, but what I'm talking about is the mass amounts of stakes that are coming out. I know we've got some big stakes coming out, and the staking, and a lot of the more end staking is happening in about 4 years. But I think 5, like the average staking length, once we start hitting that average staking length, that's when it really is going to start ratcheting the ROI up, and we're going to start seeing that curve start to move
up.
And
per T-share per day ratcheting.
Yeah, pay out a T-shirt per day, and at that point, wow. So all of you who got in and staked out and are dollar costing in right now and are staking out, man, that's where it's going to start getting really, really cool for you guys. Really, really cool. So anyway, let's see, man, The fucking short jokes are still going on. Okay, Vegas guys, watch Vegas. Everybody gets to take a picture with the RG3, and just God help you if you're shorter than me. Okay, God help you.
I'm shorter now.
I've got it figured out there. We're gonna do something cool in Vegas.
My seat.
We're
He
gonna
was looking at my seat. He said, coffee sits higher in that seat. And I'm like, I wasn't sitting in my seat. Gary's calling me though.
Hold on a second. Normornians, one of our incredibly awesome hexicans that works back behind the scenes with us and bringing you guys the content and whatnot. Normorian says, hey, I think when Hex hits $1 or 10 at the 2.5 mark, the majority of the 5-year stakes will disappear. Those that stick around are going to be blown. You know what? You're exactly right. And I said this a while back ago that, so what I try to teach some people to do, and because I know once Hex goes to $1, $3, $5, $10, man, pulling those stakes down is gonna happen. I don't give a fuck who you are. Some of that shit's gonna happen. Diamond hands, my ass. You guys are gonna be fucking lily-livered little paper hand motherfuckers, and you're gonna start pulling some shit off of the wall. So what I did was I told everybody, hey, and instead of making a big 15-year stake or a big 10-year stake or a big 5-year stake, make some smaller ones out there. So just in case you are tempted, just in case you do want a little bit of that, you don't have to nuke a whole stake to get that out of there. You can take a little bit down and feel good about yourself that, hey, you cashed in some gains, because there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, take some gains. And then, yeah, you kind of had paper hands, but you still had, other stakes out there that you left alone. And if you've got some 15 years, I call that the 15-year staking wall, where you can just put some blocks out there that you can pull down after 7.5 years. If Hex is at $5, guy like me, man, there's going to be a little of it come down. There might be another Porsche in the future or something that needs to come off of that wall.
But you might as well stake it where you want to pull it. It doesn't make sense to emergency unstake at all, because you undo your progress. You're better off just holding it liquid.
But no, you're wrong, Johnny. You're fucking wrong. You're wrong.
I am not.
Okay. What's a fifth? Okay. So let's just say you have 1 million Hex stake at 15 years, right?
Okay.
That 1 million Hex stake. Yeah. You're nuking that motherfucker. If you pull it down at $1, okay, it's worth $1 million, but you're nuking it, right? Could have been worth so much more. Right. Well, let's just say you turn that 1 million Hex into a couple 500,000s, a couple 100,000s, and you threw that out there. Now Hex goes to $1, right? Well, you don't have to pull that 1 million down. You got 100,000 stake there that you can pull down.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong with that, but
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. You might as well stake to the point that you want to pull it out. So you have 1 million, or you have 100,000 for this year, 100,000 for this year, 100,000 for this year, and just work your way out. And instead of trying to pull one out that's 15 years, because you're not going to get shit out of that anyway. Even if you do nuke it, you have to go at least 7.5 years, or you're going to screw with your principal. So it actually undoes. If it's a 15-year stake, and you think you're going to pull it out before 7.5 years because it goes up to $1, you're going to lose it. You're not getting that. It doesn't do you any good. You might as well just stake to the point where you're going to go. So yeah, I agree. Multiple stakes, but I mean, it doesn't make sense to. The system is designed with the Truth Engine as intended, which means if you try to cheat the system or try to pull something a little too soon, you're going to pay. You're going to pay. You're not going to win.
I don't care, dude. If you put something up there that cost you $1,000 and it's worth $100,000, you didn't lose. I'm sorry, you didn't lose.
But you have to go at least 7.5 years to pull.
Of course, for a 15-year, but if you had a 10-year and a 5-year, what I'm saying is that if you've got something that's worth that kind of money, and look, Mr. 19, Yes, you can. People are selling millions of dollars worth of hex every single day. So don't tell me that you can't off ramp $1 million. Yes, you can. Somebody off ramped 16 million the other day. It happens. Yep. It's happening now. It's going to happen in the future too.
Go check out Hex.
Look,
Hex
I'm not telling everybody that's what you need to do. I'm just saying what's going to happen. This shit's going to happen, man. I don't care.
Yeah, and the people that don't move are going to get shitloads of bags full from all of those emergency unstakes, from people that don't understand that they're undoing their progress and they're sharing with every single person that does exactly what they're saying. That is the power of the truth engine. You benefit from other people's screw ups.
Yeah. Or from other people cashing out, other people taking smaller gains. You're gonna benefit from other people taking smaller gains. Because I'm sorry, if you bought something for 1,000, it's worth 100,000. You didn't lose. You did not fucking lose. I don't care what game you're in, what you're doing. 1,000 to 100,000 in 7.5 years, you didn't lose. There is no kind of thing out there, period, that you can make that kind of money with. Nowhere. I've been around for working my ass off for 40 fucking years, and guess what? There is nothing you can make that kind of money with. Nothing. So you won. You won. Now, so did all the stakers.
But you're losing all your money on the way out of the casino.
So did the stakers. The stakers win. No, you didn't. You didn't lose. I don't care what anybody says. You didn't lose. You didn't lose. You didn't get all your gains, but you didn't lose because nothing makes you that kind of money. Kareem loves it. More money for us. Come on, Kareem, get with me on this one, man. We can get a lot of people on emergency ends.
Well, I'm going to go with this, guys. Set terms you can honor the terms. If you are not able to hold on for 15 years, you shouldn't be setting a 15-year stake because you're going to be paying us. You know, that's how it works.
I don't see a problem with that, Johnny. I don't know why you're having a problem with that. I don't know why you're having a problem with that.
Pay us. Because I don't want people to get wrecked, man.
You're not getting wrecked. If you put 1,000 in and it's worth
2 million hacks,
if you put
they come out and like, oh, look, I staked for 15 years. Let me unstake that right now. Poof. There's 2 million.
If you put 1,000 in and it's 100,000, you didn't get wrecked. I'm sorry. That's not wrecked. That's not wrecked. It isn't. It fucking isn't. Anywhere else in the free world, that is not being wrecked. Nobody in their right mind.
They're not walking away with those. They're
of course not, Johnny. Of course not. They're not getting the full benefit of what Hex is, but they ain't getting wrecked. You turn 1,000 into 100,000. It ain't wrecked. Sorry.
Yeah, but I don't think these stakes are turning 1,000 into 100,000.
Yeah, I know. Look at Brianna said we're redefining wrecked in Hex. Yeah, you only made fucking 100 Hex on your money. You fucking wrecked pleb. I love it. I fucking love it. It's so cool to be talking about it like this, right? With such confidence, with knowing what's going to happen in the future, because this isn't promises. This is shit that's going to happen. This is shit that's happening. The code is there. The math works. It's happening. I think we're talking about how amazing 5 to 7 years is going to be from now. And when it happens, we're going to be fucking like going apeshit nuts that it is happening, because we're still going to be in disbelief when it happens. But it's going to be so insane. And the first 15-year stakes that come out are going to be like mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
I can't even,
I can't wait to see the streams on those days, 15 years from now.
Well, I always said, it's like we got people bickering over 1/10 of a cent. People have no idea how insignificant that is going to be in the future. It's like, arguing over whether or not you paid 10 cents or 11 cents for your Bitcoins. I mean, that's going to be how this historical data is going to, fall. It's like, can you believe these guys were arguing over whether or not they paid 5 or 6 cents for their hacks? Can you believe these guys were actually trying to cut corners on 1/10 of a cent? we got to stop this whole 1/10 of a cent shit. I mean, we should really be looking at, dollars. Look at anything. Look at Matic. Matic went from a penny to 42 cents. We ain't there yet, guys. Neo, when it was Ant shares, went from pennies up to $180, guys. Okay, yep. We haven't seen anything yet. We're like, we've got this whole early biased, right? We're totally early, so we're totally biased, and we're like talking about fractions of a cent, and we're on camera talking about fractions of a cent. Oh well, maybe we'll hit 2 pennies. Well,
we have some serious unit bias, bro. When you come from a Satoshi, we've got serious unit bias. I mean, when it does get to $1, when it gets to 50 cents in $1, then our unit bias is going to end up going out the door, because then you're going to see, like right now. I mean, dude, what would it have taken to see a 1/2 cent move? We're seeing, 1/2 cent to 1 penny moves a day now. We're seeing moves in a day.
This is what happens is, as the hardest part was to make that penny. Okay. Because a move from a penny to 2 pennies was, it
was nothing.
100% move. Right. Yeah. But when we hit 10 pennies, to move that next penny is only a 10% move.
Yeah.
Cryptos can do 40% in a day. Right. We've seen it happen in the bull markets. So when you're talking about a 40% move, and from 10 cents, you're automatically up to 14 cents. That damn quick, right? Mm-hmm. So this fraction of a cent shit, I can't even have these conversations. It's going to look so silly, so silly in the future.
Yeah, another guy wanting to onboard right now. Tell him later, bud. Later. I'm gonna get all my money out of Coinbase and go to Coinbase Pro. I heard it's better. Like, oh, jeez. It took us like 2 weeks to get his money into Coinbase. Now he wants to send his money back to his bank and get Coinbase Pro because he heard it was better. He heard it. He doesn't know anything about it, but he heard it was better, so he's gonna get
company.
Coinbase Pro. People. Anyway, I'm going to read some of the chat because there's some good chatters in here. We got Bran and Crypto Goose is in here. Let's see. We just did 1000x, guys. That means if you had 10K liquid, you have $10 million. Wow. I can't tell the guy that he fucked up. Yeah, no, you're right. Also good to know and remember, RG, sometimes you become so wealthy that selling just don't even matter anymore. And you know what? That is something to talk about too, because I've contemplated this often. And, I talk about, in my life, there's a point where I really don't need a whole bunch. I want a nice house for my family. I want a retired life. I mean, I want to, live a healthy life. My clothing and my vehicles are going to be minimal. There's not a lot I need. Trips, taking the family around the world. I'd love to do that kind of stuff, a couple times a year. And then my life is going to consist of, spearfishing and surfing. There's only a certain amount of surfboards I can buy, well under, probably $10,000 worth of, well, maybe a couple of them that might be a little worth more than that. But anyway, $10,000 worth of surfboards, $10,000 worth of scuba gear. Well, at what point, I'm going to spend the same amount every month on food and what pittance of clothing I get. I don't need, hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm not planning on going out and attacking the corporate world and, making businesses and doing all that stuff. I'm just going to sit on all of that crypto and be a good steward of it and live a comfortable life, and that's probably what's going to happen to a lot of us. Now, there's probably some entrepreneurs that are going to take that money and go fucking, ass rape the world or whatever with it and do things and make big, do deals and do kinds of cool stuff. But I don't need it. Not me. I know there's probably a lot of simple people out there too that don't need, hundreds of millions of dollars to go do things with, But yeah, I agree with you, Kareem, on that one. That's definitely, there's only so much money that you can use and need. I mean, there's people that are going to want to buy Lambos and are going to want to buy fur coats and $10,000 sneakers and all that and waste money and do what Richard's doing and fucking waste money on ridiculous looking watches and silly clothes. I mean, I would never wear any of that shit. I mean, I couldn't rock it, first of all. But it's just not my thing. But I think,
did I show you my pirate watch, RG?
That's cool, man.
Did you see my pirate watch?
Now there is a bunch of pirate treasure that I'd like to put some money into, like some pieces of 8 and stuff that I would like to get that I've been looking at. But that's just collecting shit, and I don't know. It's not a lot of money, and but I definitely don't need hundreds of millions of dollars to live my life, So yeah, I believe you're right. And Kareem says that's my goal. I'm pretty close. The rest of the Hexicans can have it. I love my community so much. I feel like a cheat code. I feel like a cheat code already. I already won the game of life. Gratitude. You know what, bro? You're absolutely 100% correct. I mean, take it from a guy who didn't win the cheat code. I've had to. We got stressful struggle in there. I've had to stressfully struggle for everything that I have. I wanted to keep my wife at home and raise my kids. That was my goal, was to have my mom, my wife and the mother of my kids not have to work. And she's done an amazing job with our kids because of that, straight A students, the whole thing, just good kids. And I would not have been able to do that if I didn't have a side hustle and a freaking career that I can work, 14, 16-hour days in and make the money that I make out here. So I've one of those guys that felt like I didn't beat the cheat code until now. Now it's like I worked all these years to have a pittance of what Hex has brought into my life. So it's like, fuck, all that fucking work, all that time, all that effort, all that saving, all that investing, all the smart things that I did, all the failures that I had to make it, to make it all work. And then here's something as simple as getting involved in a crypto at a certain point in time, figuring it out, and boom, and within a year, and when it's within a year, it's turned it into like, fuck your life, you fucking, you spent all that time doing useless shit. Now here's the real thing.
That's the kicker, RG. We were talking about that on the phone when I was talking about, I'm a little bit depressed. That the things that I can do in the real world now cannot compete with what I've done in Hex. That is really kind of frustrating, being someone that builds things and creates things and realizing, you can do so much more with cryptos than what you can do in the real world. It's disturbing.
Yeah. And that's, and Wells, you're 100% correct, because I do believe, like I always tell my wife, if I hadn't done this or moved into this place or lived in that place or dated that girl or broke up with this one, or if everything wouldn't have happened the way it happened, I would have never met her, so everything that happened before that was like important for me to have her in my life, and then same with Hex, all the things that I've done, all the struggles that I've gone through, all of the opportunities that I've looked at and gone through. Like the only reason I even got into crypto was because I started a gaming business. I started a gaming business. We created a platform that supported a gaming community that was, competing against one another. And I was in that stupid IIRC channel where it was a stupid DOS prompt chat room thing, and in those community rooms, I saw cryptocurrency being thrown around. I saw people like Brock Pierce going around and trying to sell his cryptos in games, like World of Warcraft and all other shit. They were talking about this crypto. And then there was this really horrible site. I shouldn't even say it. Intensity.com was like this, like fucking blog of just like, the best way I could explain it is like Hex BS. Like there's just this craziness in this site. And that's where I heard him talking about Bitcoin for the first time, because all of this community was kind of involved in the IRC and this intensity.com. And don't look it up, guys. Some of you just stay away from it. It's fucking, I should have never even said it. But anyway, it's one of those sites where it's like fucking death and destruction and porn and just crazy stuff, funny stuff, lots of memes. But anyway, yes, if I wouldn't have done all those things and didn't see all those things, I wouldn't have run across cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. And, we'd never be where we're at today. I would have never stumbled across Richard, got wrecked in 17, held everything, all of my Bitcoins and all my Ethereums and all my shit coins all the way down to the bottom. I would have never done that. And had I never done all that, I wouldn't have found Richard and Hex and got into this and, created. So it all happens for a reason. It is the way it is. And then the other thing is my voice. All the things that I've done have brought me to the Hex community, brought a lot of my wisdom, whether you think it's wisdom or not, take it or leave it, it brought a lot of things to people. So, here we are. And yes, thank you, Wells, for putting in perspective. Hey, KCW, Semper Fi. As Marines, we see the macro culture and the writing on the wall. Hex is coming. Casey, Semper Fi to you too, bro. And as Marines, yes, we see a lot of things differently and a little more twisted than other people see them. So yeah, I get where you're coming from, brother. And Semper Fi. Yes, again, Wales, life is a ride. Stay on. Intensity. Life is
so it's like this, RG. I have to order more supplies for the studio. I've got conventions coming up. I have to pay out money to go to the conventions. I have to pay out money for supplies. And it's like, I'm used to doubling up on my money because I'll go to convention, I'll sell everything that I buy. But it's like, why do I want to 2x it? Why am I buying supplies? Why am I going to these conventions? I have zero cost, no convention cost. I've got no supply costs if I just put it into Hex instead. So it's like undoing what I've built in a way, because it's like I know I could do better doing something different, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating because it's like,
I know, man. I
where else are you going to put your money? There's just not a better place is the problem. And it's like, it's not a problem, but it is, because it undoes how you think of things, I got $6,000 going out for materials, and that's $6,000.
Damn.
and that $6,000, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
ETHs are cheap. I can get that over into freaking MetaMask and real quick. Oh man.
Yeah, just dumping it over in the MetaMask right now, and when PulseChain comes out, then I get a duplicate on the other side. So it's like, yeah, it's good problem to have, I suppose.
It is, and one of my favorite Hexicans, Give Me Liberty. We always have these kind of conversations. We start talking about it because Liberty's he's done well in his life, and he's like, I've always aspired to be about the level that he's at, just that couple of steps above, that not that I'm a golfer, but it's just that country club life, the nice house, the nice car on the hill with the country club, and that kind of, not necessarily the lifestyle, but just to have that kind of comfortable living. And but he's always telling me, he's like, when I start talking like that, I'm like, okay, man, if I can move this and get this in there and do, he's like, how much money do you really need though, bro? How much money do you need? Do you realize where your Hex is going, what's going to happen, and where it's going to be? How much do you really need? Is it necessary to turn, hundreds of millions of dollars into billions of dollars. You know, it's like, do you need to be a billionaire? Do you need to be 100 millionaire? You know, what is going to make your life comfortable for the remainder of it, you know? And I've taken that to heart, and really, I don't need that much. I've thought about it often. I don't need that much. And I think a lot of people here don't need that much either, you know? And
yeah, I mean, how much are your bills? You see these people cashing out $40,000 an hour out of wallets. It's like, really? How much are your monthly bills? You know, how much do you freaking need? You know, are you going to take all your money out of the bank account and throw it on your bed so you can roll on it? It's a bank account, for God's sakes. Just leave it. Take what you need. Where are you going to put it that it's going to do better for you? You're not. You're going to take it out of Hex. You're going to dump it into some other shitcoin and then hope it does better. Good luck.
I'm reading the chat rooms. Nice, guys. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you figure out your design your ideal lifestyle, like Max here says, in advance, and create a budget for it. Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at. I mean, I don't need that much to survive. I mean, probably
I'm just confused because I could quit right now. I can quit doing all my Monster Shop stuff. I could shut this place down right now, and it would not affect me in any way.
But I mean, you like doing what you do
to get to this point.
But you like what you do, right?
Well, yes and no. Because, you know, when you're
the doing of is cool. It's the management and the struggle that goes along with it that's the hard part, right?
There's many hats that go with it. You know, and the thing is, when you are doing something for money, I mean, you've got a client, and the client's opinion is what matters. So it's not your opinion that matters, it's your client's opinion. You can make stuff that you absolutely hate, but as long as the client likes it, they're the one signing the check. Their opinion is the only one that matters. So yes, I like to create things, but I don't get to create what I want to create. I create what the client needs, you know? So it's not what people think it is, because they're like, oh, well, you get to do creative stuff and you're making stuff that you want to make. Well, that's not necessarily true, because when it becomes a job, you're making what the client wants. So I mean, I'm kind of at the point where it's like, you know, I want to build things for me. And if I build things for me and I can, or, you know, be able to afford, I'm in a position where I can afford the luxury now of building stuff for me. If I want to spend money and build stuff for me, it doesn't matter if it's a loss. I can just create to create. Yeah. So that's cool. But my driver has always been the struggle, right? The driver has been, I need money to pay this, to pay that, to pay this, to pay that, to pay this, to pay that. So you know, so it's been this constant struggle cycle, and now the struggle's just like not there, right? Yeah. So now I just don't know what to do.
Well, the best thing to do right now is just sit back and wait and watch all this, because you know, PulseChain could actually change everything once again, you know, and
you don't want to just gotta wait, right? You don't want to give up what you're used to either, because you get comfortable with doing that and you just accept that's the way things are. And then you get these reality shifters that come in and just boom, and you're like, man, I need to rethink things, you know? Yeah. So actually that's kind of what I've been doing. I've not been doing a lot. I've just been doing a lot of rethinking how I want to do things.
Xcoin said, time to find some meaning, Johnny. Try go 42, right? You know, yeah, you got to go do what you want to do. And at what point do you do that? I think maybe the hesitation might be the same hesitation I have, is that I want to see some stability before I do anything like quit my job. I've done that. I've made lots of money and I quit my job and it fucked me. And so I've not only have I seen crypto go to shit, but I've seen other opportunities go to shit. And I don't want to be in those positions again and put myself in that. I mean, I've been wealthy and I've been poor, and I like being wealthy a lot more than I like being poor. So I don't want to be in those situations. It's not a good thing, especially when you got family and all. It's just not. So I'm gonna sit back, watch, chill a little bit longer, do my thing. Maybe within the next year, get myself set up to do the Puerto Rico thing. Freaking can't wait. And yeah, Freddie, come spearfish with me out there. Fuck that guy, whoever it is. What, Brody Moss? He's like an Instagram guy, right? He's like he goes out and Instagram shit or something. I don't know. I think I've seen him before. But I grew up spearfishing with Jay Rife's family. If you don't know who Jay Rife is, R-I-F-F-E, he makes spearfishing equipment, and he's like one of the world's greatest spear fishermen. And his daughters are like the world's greatest female spear fishermen. And I did a lot of diving around their area. I actually worked in his shop, in Jay Rife's shop, helped him move all of his equipment into his new facility out here in SoCal. And he makes awesome spear guns too. I mean, if you want a real spear gun, Jay Rife gun is gun to get. But yeah, I want to go. I'd love to go spear fishing with some of those folks again. But he actually, all of his buddies got eaten by white sharks. So Australia, not my favorite place. Now, Guadalupe Island and Australia are not my two favorite places to want to go spearfishing. Only because of Smiley, and Smiley is the great white shark. So, yeah, man, let's go freaking. Why don't you come spearfish with me over in Puerto Rico or something where the sharks are few and far between and don't have a lot of great whites out there, and spear fishermen do real well.
So RG, you ever watch Office Space? The movie Office Space?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, that's how I feel like I wake up in the morning. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna go. Because I don't have a boss. I have to tell me to work.
But here's something I want to bring up, and I've seen this syndrome too. When I was in network marketing and building teams, and people were hitting the 6-figure mark, and they were like, "That's more money than a lot of people have ever seen." 6 figures a year, and they would quit their jobs. And in network marketing, it's really not a lot of work. Once you start getting to that level, it's just kind of self-perpetuating. And yeah, you're doing a meeting here or there, you're going to a convention here and there, and you're helping with the websites, and you're helping do, video conference calls with people, and, but whatever. Kareem just says, whatever you do, still thrive and create and generate. Don't just sit on your ass. Shit will become boring fast. It does. It becomes very, very boring fast when you don't have to go out and work. And you might lose your will. And that's how you end up in trouble doing stupid stuff. Exactly. And it also
it's that purpose. But you've worked so long for a purpose, right? Yeah. And you think you're doing everything right. You hit certain achievements, and then you gotta have a purpose, right? So you have to work towards a sense of purpose. And sometimes that just isn't clear,
I like what Brianna says. No, sit on your ass in a room of silent darkness loaded on 5 grams of mushrooms. Yeah. 6 always works real good for me, but yeah, 5 will work. 5 will work.
6, 5.
Kareem, I know what you're saying. It is. I've learned it too, man, that, you have to, I'm not making fun of it. What I'm saying is that I've seen people quit, and I've seen people lose their will, and I've seen people fail because of that. Because I don't know if you've ever seen this syndrome in the sales world, some of you, but what happens is, so if you're desperate, if you're behind on your numbers, you're on performance plan, you're freaking you got to make your numbers this month, and you're gonna get fired. You can't get a fucking sale. You're trying so fucking hard. You're banging the phones. You're knocking on doors. You're doing presentations. You're everything you can. You're on the top of your game trying to can't get a sale. But you come into a month and you kill 2 deals, and you're 3 months ahead of your numbers now, the beginning of the month. You just keep killing it because you're in the zone. You're still doing your thing. You're not desperate. You're selling like a motherfucker because you don't care. You're just doing really good. You keep doing your thing. And it's kind of like this. It's kind of like the sales syndrome that happens. It's like you keep in motion and everything's going good. But if you get overly reactive or you get yourself behind the 8 ball and you need to move and you need to do things, then shit doesn't happen, man.
That happens in the art world too. Okay. So say you're a starving artist and you're trying to get some work as an artist, and you're willing to take this deal and that deal and every deal you can get, whether it's $20 here, $50 here, you're doing these different deals for art. And then there will be people that will capitalize on that, and they'll take advantage of you because they're able to get you to do work for cheap. And what I found out was you actually have power with your art when you're able to say no. When you have that walking power, right? When not everybody and their brother can afford you, all of a sudden now you're actually able to start making money at it. And that's something that I figured out fairly early. And a lot of people still don't, right? They'll give away their artwork and stuff. Heck, look at some of this NTF shit selling out, for God's sakes. You're more valuable than you think you are,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what it happens, because if you work for too cheap, what happens is everybody wants to hire you, and there's only so much time in a day. So when you're able to set your prices at a certain level, and you've got so much time that you're available, the people will have to compete over that, or they won't get their work done, or they can find somebody else that's willing to give it to them for free, because there's plenty of those out there too. So
yeah,
go ahead. You guys want to?
And there's much more to purpose than a job. Don't mistake me saying that having a job is purpose, because in reality, like in my field, I never loved it. Like there were guys in my field that loved it. Like I have a really good buddy that me and him worked together for the last 35 years. And he's at the top ranks of this thing. I mean, he works for a monster global company. He's one of their top guys. He makes really, really good money, but he loves it. He lives it. He breathes it. He eats it. He sleeps it. He shits. Everything is all about being a millwright and being a machinery mover and building big shit and stuff. I never was that guy. I wanted to do my shit, do well at it, but then I wanted to have a side hustle that was going to get me out of that. I didn't want to, I kept giving up vertebrae, one every few years. I kept giving up vertebrae, and it was like, man, I just got to get out of this shit. I don't want to do it. I don't love it like he does. I loved freedom, and I wanted freedom, and I wanted purpose, and I wanted, that wasn't giving me purpose. I gave him purpose. Now, see, not everything gives everybody purpose. So that gave him purpose, but it didn't give me purpose. What was giving me purpose was going out and being an entrepreneur and doing that on the side. And of course, my family, making sure they were comfortable all the time. And then now my purpose is to give them and as many other people as I can a better life. That's what I want to do. Not so much that I want to employ everybody, but I sure would like to do some things. I saw something on the Twitters the other day, and it was this family that was just fucking living in just destitute, man. I mean, it's just, that's not even a word, destitute. It was just horrible. This kids were living on the streets. This mom was trying to take care of them, and the community got together and they bought her a house, and they redid that whole house. I mean, these kids had no clean water, no clean clothes, no place to take a shit, no place to live. They were on the streets, and this community came together, and it's a small, short video on Twitter, and they built the house, painted all nice, made just a simple little room for the kids and put posters on the walls and toys on the beds. And then they brought the kids in. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I'd like to do. That stuff that has purpose. Like if I had that kind of money, those hundreds and multiple millions of dollars, yeah, I'd live a comfortable life, but I'd love to be able to do stuff like that, man. Like just take somebody and just help them out a little bit and take them out of that situation, and of course the the backstory to all of it was that her ex-husband or whatever had put her in that situation and abandoned them or whatever, and just put them out on the skids. And it was really a cool story to see those people come together and help her. And she was just, freaking elated. The kids were all happy. It was awesome. That's the kind of stuff I'd like to see done, or that would give my life purpose anymore. Putting toes in the sand, shooting a fish through the fucking head, catching a nice tasty wave, getting pitted, that would be that's life for me. And then helping other people. I'd love to do that shit.
So, people say, it's like they did this test in college where they had as psychological experiment where they had a person come in and they hired them for $10 an hour to dig a ditch. The next day they came back and they had to fill in the ditch, right? So eventually they kept adding to the money that they were paying these people, because they would find that after a couple days of coming in, digging a hole, filling it back in, they'd quit. And it didn't really seem how much money they paid them, because what they found was it was a sense of purpose that was causing these people to quit. Because they felt like they were undoing or,
That's the Marine Corps, by the way.
but that's the whole breaking the will thing, sort of thing. It's kind of crazy. But they did this experiment, and that's what they found was people need more than money. They need a sense of purpose, and that sense of purpose is very important. And you gotta do some soul searching about that and what it is that you want to really do, because someday you might have the opportunity to do it. So you're never going to get there by not thinking about, what it is that you want to do.
So Jordan said, laugh my ass off, sound like my Army spirit. Dude, it was just like that in the Marine Corps. It's like, yeah, dig a hole and then fill it back in. That explained my whole Marine Corps career. It was like, that's the kind of shit that they did to us, hurry up and wait, all that kind of shit. Yep. That was it. You know what? I want to address the community real quick, because, I've been speaking about, some of the death threats or the ass kicking threats, or which, yeah, bring it, buddy. You fucking little pieces of shit. Anyway, the threats that I've gotten in the past, it doesn't happen so much anymore. I mean, we get little pussy little what do you call it? Spammers in the chat rooms and stuff, but I don't get the DM death threats with my fucking, at home address sent to me with the credit reports and all that shit. I haven't gotten that shit in a while, but lately what I have been getting, and I got one just tonight from Scottish Hex. I'm not going to dime you out or say what you said, bro, but I appreciate the kind words, man. And I read all of your guys' stuff. If I don't answer you all the time, I'm sorry, but I've been getting a lot of them lately where some of you have been praising what we've done here. And I say we because it's not me that did it. All I did was flip the switch and turn it on, and everybody else came in here and did it with me. So Discourse Syndicate belongs to all of you. Like what the network is going to do, it belongs to all the streamers. It's going to be a place for all the streamers. And I may give up one of my time frames, or maybe both, and just come Friday night hangout. I don't know. I'm still working on how I'm going to do that. But I am going to probably at least give up one of them, because it's time for some family time, and then bring all the Hex streamers here. Johnny's going to be doing some work on the network, so that's cool. We're excited about that too. But thank you guys for all the kind words, for all the DMs that you've been sending me. Really, really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure to be part of it, and a pleasure to expose who we are on stream, so people know what Hexicans are really all about. That was the intention, was to know that there were real people, to dispel the whole bot theory that we were bots, or that we were scammers, or that we were stupid, or that we were plebs that were going to follow Richard to our shallow graves in the whole crypto space. It turned out to be none of that. Everything that we said was true. We fucking told you so. So crypto, that's what you guys deserve. We're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep saying that. We're going to keep it real. We're not going to look like any of those guys. We will never look like those guys. We will never talk like those guys. We will never shill like those guys. We will only bring the truth. We will only let you know what's really happening in crypto. And they're all exposing their own damn selves now. So it's really a cool thing to watch. And the Hexagon community is the best. Hexagons are the bestigans, like Markable always says. And man, it's been a hell of a ride. And you guys are just as responsible for it all as I am. So thank you for the kind words. Appreciate all of you. It's been really nice to hear that kind of stuff. You know, Bran, you know, saying, you know, hey, thanks, bro. You changed my life by telling me to, you know, emergency end stake and you know, put it all out longer. He's got more shares now, and his bags are growing bigger than ever. And you know, he appreciates that. I hear it all the time. So yeah, guys, thank you for the DMs. All of them are appreciated, and all of them are read, and I try and get back to them as soon as I can. But you know, and yes, Brianna, yes, you're just trolling. AJ Create says, what is your 5 pillars you live by? Wow, man, 5 pillars. You know, I mean, I've read all these. I've got a whole library behind me of books, of success books, my success library. You know, I've read them all. And they all say the same things. You know, they really all say the same things that, you know, in my Native American philosophy, everything is sacred. You know, there's nothing out here that is not part of all of us, that is not part of the creation, that is not good. We have yin and yang. We have what we call contraries, or we have things that are opposites, or what we call duality. But everything is sacred. Everything is connected. So we're all connected to all this stuff. So what matters is what you do. Everything's sacred. Everything's connected. You are the one that makes the difference, and how you act and what you do and your actions and how you react to things and what you put out there. So that's really my simple basic philosophy is I believe in everything and everyone, and that there's opposites to everything, and they're all just as necessary, if not to keep you sharp, but to see what fails and what survives and what does well. Because remember, all success is just born from failure. You know, so you got to have those failures in order to have the successes. And you see that in all philosophies. Learn from them. As long as you learn from them. And that's just wisdom. And that's just wisdom, you know, and that's just about wisdom. Like we've learned from all this fudding. We've learned from all of this stuff. So, and the biggest thing is that you make a difference. You make a difference. Each and every single one of you makes a difference in what you do out there and how you react to all these things. Do you let these things get to you, or do you learn from them? I've never made a mistake. I've learned. That's it. I've learned. Have I fallen down? Yes, but I've always fallen forward. I've always fallen forward. Moving forward, have I failed? Yes, I failed, but I failed forward. Always. And I've always looked at it that way. I've never woe is me or turned around and looked at a closed door. I've always just kept moving forward. And that's when these opportunities end up coming to you. Like all of you here found Hex. For whatever reason, whatever it was you were doing, you found it. Whether you're in your 20s or whether you're in your 70s, you found it. And it was the right time. So anyway, that's my simple little 5 pillars, I guess you'd call it. Very simple, basic philosophy on life I have. And it doesn't, it's kind of pan, I guess, you know, universalism or whatever. But that's how I believe. And that's what I look at. Is going to jail still failing forward? Damn straight it is. Do you want to go back there? I don't. So yeah, man, I don't want to go to fucking jail anymore. It's not a good place. You don't thrive there, man. It's not a good thing. So yeah, you don't want to go to jail because of you. RG3 is pansexual. I don't know about that. I don't know what that means, I guess.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. Don't know. But yeah, no, I'm kind of like, I'm stuck. I like women, or a woman, I should say, that's what I am. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I'm kind of weird, I guess. RG3, you're an inspiration. Well, that one I want this one up so that I can record it. I like that, man. I've you know what? I don't think of myself as an inspiration. I think of myself as a guy that has been around the block in a lot of different blocks. And I've never sugarcoated anything. I've been a master, a jack of all trades and a master of none. And I like to think that I have a lot of mistakes and failures that I can help people to avoid. That's what I think I have to add to the world is, hey, don't fucking do that, man. It sucks. Don't do that. Jail sucks. Don't do that. Failure sucks. I've done a lot of that. So if I can be an inspiration that way and tell you a funny story about me fucking up or something happening to me that because I made some mistakes, then, that's the only value I really see in any of the bullshit that I put out there. So Jordan's got a question for you, Johnny.
How did I discover Hex initially? Well, it's a lot like RG's story, actually. I woke up when Bitcoin was at $2,000 after basically being really pissed off that I didn't get into it because I didn't really see a point in it. I didn't understand this internet magic money. I was very down on it to begin with. And then I realized my opinions didn't matter. And it was going to go up in price no matter what I thought about it. And apparently there was something in my logic that was flawed that didn't allow me to recognize it's something that had potential. So I had to re-examine it. So I did. And I got into the crypto space and I played around. I did leverage trading. I did, swing trading, and I went through the ups of 2017 going, yeah, everything's going great. And then it all came down on my head. And I burnt a lot of money. And I said, and part of that time I was looking for things that made yield. Like, I like the KuCoin. I like the Cost coin. I like Neo. I like things that were earning some kind of income. And I always thought that the future of crypto was something that was going to earn some kind of yield, except there wasn't really anything like that. So you got like fractional dust and stuff from staking your KuCoin, or you got fractional dust from the Cost coin, and you got your gas from your Neo. I really thought this was the way things needed to head, but they were very limited, right? So I was about out of crypto altogether and didn't want to touch anything ever again. And then I caught Richard Hart's videos and started to listen to him talk about Hex and what he was trying to build and how important that, the tragedy of commons was, the ability to be able to afford to have an advertising budget, the perpetual sort of income scenario that I was looking for. And that was it, So I stayed on it and listened and listened and listened and listened. I was part of the community that was in the talks talking about the, I got to be part of the process by, giving feedback and stuff, kind of like people are able to do with Pulse now. And sure, there were some developments in Hex and stuff that I didn't agree with at the time, but I see, how it impacted and how it was effective. And as it developed, I was there for the ride. I mean, it just, it was just what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm. Well, all of us, I mean, what better crypto than Hex? I mean, it's if you've been in crypto for a while, it's everything you've always wanted a crypto to be.
Yeah.
And some. It's surprised me. The whole share thing has really just, blown my mind. The whole game theory thing has just blown my mind. I mean, I was happy with just more secure, faster than Bitcoin. I was happy with that, Oh, and you could stake it. Cool. I was always wondering what a staking coin was going to look like. I didn't plan on all this game theory. I didn't plan on.
Well, I wanted to mine. I wanted to mine. I looked at miners, and I really crunched the numbers on it, and it's like, this is ridiculous. I mean, I'll make more money buying product and reselling product than I ever would with miners, and then the upkeep and all that stuff. So it's like, where do you find a truly passive income?
Bro, I seriously was the same as you. I wanted to mine because, I had played the 16, 17 game and I was like, okay, I want to get a miner. And then I went to Koh Samui. I went to Thailand and Koh Samui where my buddy lived, and looked at his mining operation. I said, I don't want to mine. No way. This is how you got to make money mining? No way. This is ridiculous.
And I could have bought a skid of miners that were up for auction because they went down with the 2017 crash when they lost all their money and they had to sell out all their miners. And I could have bought like 3 skids worth of ASIC miners for about $1,000.
Do you know how many sea containers full of miners there are out there right now? They're fucking everywhere. You can get miners and it was useless,
right? So that $1,000 in Hex has done a lot better than that $1,000 worth of miners. I can tell you that. So good choice. Yeah. Good call right there.
Definitely. I mean, now we have the power of mining in our hands now, and at a way better rate than we could have if we had, aped into mining operation or whatever. Even if you and I would have pooled our money together and bought a mining operation and stuck it by some, cheap hydroelectric dam somewhere where we can get cheap power. No. There was no way we'd be making, what we're making. And then we'd be dumping it, and Bitcoin just crashed. So, I mean, it's like, what a game to have to play. What a ridiculous, silly game to have to play. Hex is so much easier.
Is there really truly another form of passive income? I mean, nothing like Hex, but I mean, what can you do? Okay, like, so you buy real estate, right? So now you got to make sure you got a tenant. Then you got maintenance on the building. Then you got taxes. Then you've got, I mean, there's all this extra stuff, and then there's
20-30% swings in that too, every season. So
it's like I'm looking for a place that would earn interest. I mean, it was always that thought of, look, if I won the lottery, I want a bank account so that I could draw the interest off that money so that I could live and not have to worry about the struggle, right? Well, you can't do that with a bank account. If you have $1 million, you're not drawing 6%, so you're not pulling $60,000 a year. Okay, you used to be able to do that, but now if you want to draw interest, you have to have something to draw interest, and Hex is it. Hex is really the option to set yourself up for passive income that you don't have to worry about maintenance. You don't have to worry about extra bills or upkeep or any of that shit. So
yeah. And now we have the opportunity to get into Pulse at the beginning and do it all over again for those people who thought they missed the beginning of Hex. Well, now you're going to have the beginning of Pulse, and shit, the beginning of Pulse could be better than Hex. I mean, I have a hard time saying that because I never thought that anything would be better than Hex. It's definitely going to be different, so there might be a different kind of better, but
it's a different mechanic.
It's a different mechanic.
Got one that's inflationary and one that's inflationary, and actually you're going to get to pit them against each other in a way, because one is purely deflationary because as the coins are burnt, it starts with a set supply and that supply goes down. And then you've got Hex, which the supply goes up. So you've got both ends of the spectrum here. So it'd be fun to see how they work out because they are different. And of course, Hex has the share rate and Pulse does not have the share rate. So that compounding share rate by itself is a factor all on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there is P Hex. So yeah, both those two hexes will function, the same way as Hex. But
I know we've had lots of conversations about them. I just freaking can't wait to see what's going to happen. I can't wait. It's going to be so freaking exciting. And so many new people that are coming in right now into Hex, into Pulse, are going to be able to jump in at the beginning of it. And it's
so they see how awesome Pulse
awesome.
is, and then they realize the creator of Pulse is also the creator of Hex. And then how does that change reality?
It's already starting to, I think. I think that there's still the outliers. There's still, fudders, but I think that things are changing. And I saw that change on Nicole's show the other day when, she was talking to all the maxis. And what's funny is that they were all maxis. Like Wendy had been on this show before. A friend of mine, I like Wendy a lot. She's, an LA gal. But maximal-ish. She talks about ERC20s and stuff, but they were, and then of course, BitBoy was there, who had already doxed himself on her show before about, hey, we're all shills, and yeah, they pay me millions. I've been offered millions and turned it down, and blah blah blah. And it was like, whoa, dude. But when I saw her go to him and say, are you guys going to apologize to your people for holding something back from them? The whole crypto space has done that. Are you guys going to apologize? Are you going to start changing your ways? And none of them rebutted her. They all stood there with their jaws wide open, and they all stood there looking foolish, and they all stood there like, well, yeah, we did that. And yeah, well, you have made us look bad by continuing to make mad gains. And everything you said is true, and everything that everybody else said out there was false. So just the looks on their face and the lack of anything to say was kind of proof to me at that point that things are changing, and that
but they haven't had the face accountability, really. Okay, so like when things
they're never going to. They're never going to. Nobody's ever going to hold them accountable, especially people who are paying them to talk shit about Hex or paying
their
them.
Viewers will hold them accountable. When there are there's two projects that outperform everything else in the crypto space, and they're still being sticks in the mud, their viewership will hold them accountable. It's going to happen.
Well, what I've noticed is that in the last few weeks, things have changed for us, where we're starting to see massive amounts of subs. So if you're walking by, I don't do this enough. Like, comment, subscribe, tell us whatever you want in the comments. You always do. Well, that's where most of the fudders and the haters go, is to the YouTube chat room. So you guys need to go in there and talk to those folks. They talk a lot of shit in there. But anyway, comment, subscribe, because we've been seeing like massive gains of subscribers from this last few weeks and what's been going on out there. So I'm starting to feel and sense a little change, and that's why we've changed things up here. We're going to be Discourse Syndicate Network. So all the Hexicans that want to stream are going to stream live here. You're going to put content up. A lot of them are going to put content up, and we're going to get all the eyes focused in one place so that they can hear the message, because all of these streams have a little bit different message. I don't give the details and the nomenclature of the contract and all that like some of these people do, like, Wells and DC and all these guys have a lot more, and Coffee, these guys have a lot more to add as far as the technicals go of Hex and Pulse and whatnot. So we're going to bring all the eyes to all these folks here on Discourse Syndicate, and I think things are changing in crypto. I really do, for us anyway, and it's only going to get better with the launch of Pulse.
In the tube.
What's that?
You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, says Hexcoin.
Yeah, you know, they are going to end up accountable for it one day. But they've got so much backing them with the, you know, coin aggregator sites and coin ranking sites and the exchanges, and of course the favorable news articles from, you know,
right. But it's establishment crypto, right? So like literally we're creating a parallel universe on the other side of that called Pulse, and people are going to go where the gains are. You know, eventually if you don't go where the gains are, then you know people are gonna migrate that way. So
yeah, and I think that's where the bear market is going to make Hex sign, because we're not going to flinch. It's going to be like,
we'll be doing just
I'm
fine
still
over
making
here.
my Hex, you know, I'm still making it, and you know, I think that we're going to be, you know, freaking over here singing Kumbaya and having freaking, bottle service and shit over here in the Hex community. And everyone's going to be like, well, hey man, I want to go be a part of that shit. Right. So I think
that's why I was joking about our parties. I was like, you know, here's your Bitcoin party, a couple guys by the water cooler. And then you got the Hexagon party and you see this big giant beach party with the fly. You know, I mean, I can just see that, right? So like, you know, we'll wait for the next Bitcoin convention and we'll just rent the building next door and we'll show you where the party
is. Yeah, I know. I keep fantasizing about the next Bitcoin convention that we all get to show up to. It's going to be.
Well, I think we need to roll those trucks out there. I don't know that we need to crash their convention because I really don't care what's going on there. I think we definitely need to roll one of those trucks out there, though, and have it drive around the block. And just for anything else, I would pay the money just to annoy the shit out of them. You know?
Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, man. Well, we've been up here for 2.5 hours. I appreciate you coming on and helping me, Johnny, and appreciate all of you in the chat rooms and hanging out and watching and smashing likes and all that good stuff. I believe that tomorrow, you know, we're going to have Wake Up Hex with Kinetics. And I think that the Joker, who, of course, stole my ship. That's why my ship's not here, because he stole it. No, he didn't steal my damn ship. He's just a freaking clown.
And I hear he's got something fun planned, too.
Yeah, he's always got something fun planned. The guy's amazing. Freaking love that dude. He's awesome, man. Good buddy of mine now. But anyway, the Joker's going to be coming on and streaming tomorrow night on Discourse Syndicate. Then we've got a whole bunch of streamers coming in over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be incorporating that and bringing them all on. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun here, guys, and we're going to keep it that way. And remember, this is your Discourse Syndicate. I've got other people that want to start streaming now who haven't streamed yet, that are sending me ideas that they want to start stream. So any of you out there that have always wanted to stream, that are thinking about streaming, hey, we're going to have some extra time slots. And if you want to come over here and do it on Discourse Syndicate, we're open to that. And I don't care what kind of stream you have. It's just hexagons, man. It's just if I can have a stream, then anybody in this community can have a fucking stream. So, don't be afraid. If you really want to do it, if you really think you can, it's all here. All you got to do is hit the button. We're going to make it do it all for you. All you got to do is hit the button, come up here and start doing your thing. So if you think you can have something to add or just showcase, then bring it. DM me, let me know. We still have a few slots left, but they're filled up quickly. We've got a lot of streamers coming over and going to do a night or a show for Discourse Syndicate. They're all going to keep their channels. They're not just like, we're not just taking over their shows or whatever. Literally, we're just giving them a place to live stream so that everybody can come here and everybody can benefit from all the community being part of the Discourse Syndicate and all the hexagons supporting those shows all at once. If you haven't been able to go out and grab, I know a lot of us go out and just kind of like try and see different shows, but it's all going to be here in one network. So you can get all your hex content in one place. And we're actually building the website right now. So you'll be able to watch it directly from the website, see all the content creators, see their web pages, see their times they're streaming. So you'll never miss a thing live. All right, guys. Thanks, Johnny, for coming and hanging out. Always good to have you, OG buddy. And we'll see you guys all tomorrow. I'll see you guys on the effing hangout. Later.
Thanks for having me.